What's up, guys? Let me show you what we have going on this job today. We're going to be replacing this garden bed retaining wall. As you can see, it's pretty old and deteriorated, but the main reason we're doing this is because this customer is getting a generator installed. You see these little stakes with the blue tape. The generator is going to sit right here, and it needs to sit on a gravel base. We're going to get this bush ripped out, and then we're going to change the layout of the new wall. It's going to keep this same circle here, or semicircle, but instead of curving right there, it's going to curve out right here. So it's going to be about 2 feet further away from the house. So our first step is to get all these blocks pulled up. We'll get this bush pulled out, and then we'll start excavating. Now this would be a perfect time for me to test out this new tool I just got. This is the Moser Pro 2. I'm going to use this to measure the layout of the wall so I know the entire length. And this tool is actually going to give me the elevation as well. You can see here I'm just moving it point to point, and this is a motion based tool. That's how it gets its measurements. So wherever I stop, it's going to tell me the distance between each of those points. Using a traditional tape measure to measure a curved wall like this, a lot of times is a real pain in the butt. You have to have another guy help you and try to wrap the tape measure around the wall. This device is going to make it a lot easier for jobs like this. And not to mention, when we get some of those situations where we need to measure, a long distance, a couple hundred feet, this will make it easy. Here's the 3D image of the wall layout. It shows you the elevation change. The high side is the right side, which is the green, and then the blue side is a little bit lower. This shows me the entire perimeter of the wall. You can see at the bottom it's 54.5 feet. And now I want to check what the actual elevation difference is from the start to the end. We're looking at the Z axis at the bottom. You can see it says minus 0.3. So we know at the end of the wall, it's about 4 inches lower than the start. So that tells me I'll need to do a step down at that side. Now I can check various points throughout the wall. There's a lot of information here that'll make this job much easier. If you guys are interested in this product, I'm going to leave a link in the description. Be sure to pick one up.
Just like that, power up right in front all the way down.
We just finished digging out our trench here. We went down about 8 inches. That's enough so we can put a 4-inch stone base down, and we can bury one complete block, or one layer I should say, the first course. Before we put that base in, we are going to tamp this down with the hand tamp, and then we'll also tamp down the paver base as we put it in. We're almost done with our base course of block here. You can see we made it to about here, 3/4 of the way. We started down at this end because this is the lowest point, and I wanted to make sure that we were going to have at least 3/4 of the first course buried all the way down. Let me get you at a better angle to see. You can see there. It's not an actual retaining wall per se. Normally with a retaining wall, we bury the whole first course. These, you know, as long as you get most of the first course in, it'll be good to go. The previous wall didn't even have any type of stone base under it. It was just sand. A lot of guys do that for these garden walls, but I like putting down a modified base. If you're doing this as a DIY job, you can get the bags, the paver base from, you know, Home Depot or Lowe's, which basically is similar to the modified 3/4 minus, some places call it. But anyways, we put this in and just tamp it down with the hand tamp. Right down here, again, we started there because that was the lowest point, and then the wall is going to step up. We did this to avoid having to dig really deep because we wanted to make sure we had 4 inches of stone under it. This end would have been, you know, a 2-foot deep trench if we wanted to keep a single base course all the way around. So we just did a step up. We might need to do a step down in that corner to match this height. We'll see when we get over there. Down at this end, the grade slopes down a little bit, so we had to step the wall down because otherwise we wouldn't have had enough block buried for our first course here. You see the blocks have a little lip on the back. You just make sure you slide it all the way forward so it's locked in place. So it's coming along. We have about 3 courses down this end, 2 in the middle, 3 up top. There's going to be 4 total. We're going to step that up a little bit more because we want that top course to be just above the mulch bed. Right now it's slightly beneath it. And also we raked all those edges back, so it's kind of tapered right now. The drainage stone, for a wall like this, you only need a few inches of stone behind it. It's not a real retaining wall per se. You know, normally if you guys follow my channel, we've built some pretty big walls that were 10 feet tall and 100 feet long. Those walls, you know, you put 12, 18, even 24 inches of stone behind. Something like this, a few inches of stone is fine. And if you remember the old wall, when we took it apart, there was no drainage stone behind it. And there wasn't even any base. It was just a thin layer of sand that they put down to level the blocks. So this is a lot stronger and better built than what was here previously. So here's the finished product. You got the topsoil down, some straw spread out. Everything's all cleaned up. You have the stone base put in. That's what prompted this whole project, is they're getting a generator put in. They said they need a 2-foot by 4-foot pad. It's a little bit bigger because they need to have some wiggle room to get away from the gas meter and the electric meter. I think they need to be 3 feet off of that. So we made the pad a little bit bigger. I left this bag of mulch on the side, so after it's in place, they can use the mulch to cover up whatever rock they don't want to see. All in all, came out really good. Pretty much the same layout up here in the front as the old wall, but it's just bumped out 2 foot further to accommodate for the generator, and we pulled that bush out. We don't usually use these types of block. That you get these from the big box store. We got them from Lowe's, but I think I mentioned it earlier, he wanted to keep the exact same look because they have these same style blocks over on a garden bed over there. So, and they also didn't want to get too crazy with the cost, because obviously a regular retaining wall block and caps you would have a ton of cuts to put in here. So, you know, that would add obviously some time and cost. So they stuck with the same product. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think. As usual, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and drop me a comment below. I'll catch you on the next one.